MechWarrior Online is all about customization and piloting a creation of your own. That's the thing that makes it stand above the rest of the games on offer that have the big stompy. This title allows us to wash away the stain of Shazzy's 20 years of neglect in the single player games, and to redesign something unique and completely of our own. The MWO Open Mech Lab is the most complicated in the series by far, with a bunch of unexplained mechanics, a clunky old UI, as well as some spreadsheet math that can make an EVE player jealous. But I think this is ultimately what draws us all back to MechWarrior Online eventually. To have the chance of squaring your war machine off against 12 others created by real pilots with real intentions. There ain't no AI or endless NPC hordes of brainless enemies to cheese. Playing MWO is to truly see how your Stompy matches up against all the others real people have created, to reflect your personality through weapon fire and a hailstorm of missiles, bitchin' Betty callouts, and terrible quality VoIP. This is what it is to be a MechWarrior Online pilot, to put it all on the table, pride, fear, and respect, to get judged every time you hit that launch button and an enemy presses R on you. Overcoming the game's complexity and looking to the future and the possibilities a mech purchase can bring is very exciting. The Mech Lab mashup and the ability to show others what you have created is the true secret sauce to the gameplay loop on offer here. To leave the ranks of the dispossessed and to obtain a war machine that offers up new capabilities over your old is something MechWarriors do on a weekly basis. Embracing this, the Short and Sweaty series has been created to inspire you and to help you take your mech customization to the next level. All these builds have been fine-tuned to help spark your imagination but leave room for growth and customization to your own style of play. If you watch this and even get a little inspiration for your next mech build, or maybe you even have a suggestion for Season 2, please share it in the comments below. With all that out of the way, Mech Academy is proud to present the Short and Sweaty series. The Vapor Eagle, also known as the Veagle in most circles, is the Swiss Army knife that should be in every MechWarriors stable. Tipping the scales at 55 tons, with the Dash 1 variant coming in at a reasonable 9 million bills for the base model, it's a mech I recommend to old and new players alike. With its generous health pool, easy to maneuver profile, and high mounts, it can be a very potent mech even though it's lacking in the quirk department. Coupling all that with its ability to clear most obstacles with its generous amount of jump juice, this is a mech you're sleeping on if it's just collecting cobwebs somewhere in the back of your mech lab. The build we have today is very manageable in the heat department, with 14 total heat sinks. It has plenty of DPS capability and armor to spare. Triple plasma cannons plus the Ultra Autocannon 20 put down a 55 alpha on the almighty double tap. And it has shield arms to twist away that pesky unwanted return fire. This build sits in the middle of capability and speed, but its ease of use, not to mention its burst damage, put it in a league of its own when dealing with the multiple scenarios quick play can throw at you. Incubus is one of the few mechs that truly keeps to its namesake. It does nothing but cause anxiety and distress when trying to fight one of these little guys. It's one of the leading performers when it comes to the 30-ton range, and it won't break the bank with the Dash 5 variant being a paltry 7 million bills. This mech has ample speed to engage and disengage at will, and is known to hit harder than its weight typically allows. With its incredibly high mounts, if this thing has a hill to hump, it will once again keep to its namesake and become a total demon to deal with. The showcase build today has a smaller alpha than most builds out there, but its sustained DPS with its quirks helping it along can come together to form a Goldilocks zone of mech goodness. I think it's safe to say at this point it's starting to become a bit of a classic. The triple plasma cannon coupled with AP gas rifles offer up a 23 alpha every 3 seconds. This makes for a very comfortable middle ground when dealing with many of the situations an Incubus can find itself in. The balance of capability at mid to short ranges makes this battle rattle stand out among the many builds that can be put on one of these things. Cataphract has a face and a profile only a MechWarrior can love. Being pieces of other mechs such as the Marauder, Shadowhawk and Phoenix Hawk, this mech can wear the badge of a Franken-mech proudly. Designed to go toe-to-toe with assaults at only 70 tons. And with the 3D being the original variant, it is one of the cheapest available at under 10 million bills. You can consider this mech a bargain bin grab for any MechWarrior looking to pinch pennies. With a mix of high and low mounts and its own jump capabilities, it's one of the few Innisphere heavies I'm comfortable recommending with an XL type engine. The build we have today is for pilots who want to be a little different and stand out on the battlefield. A build riding the line between meme and meta. 3 light PPCs teamed with the Silver Bullet Gauss shows off the true assault class soul the Cataphract was imbued with its side loading of weapons and its dead-sided arm to keep your weapons safe. I can freely recommend this loadout to new and old players. It produces just as many giggles as smoking enemy husks, and has no right to be this much fun. Little Davian Jr. himself named this mech the Thor, after the Prime Shazzy's main weapon loadout of an autocannon and PPC, drawing parallel with the Norse god of thunder and lightning, while also showing us just how cheesy the Davion bloodline could be. Sitting at a way station, the Summoner comes in at only 70 tons. But can send even the richest MechWarrior off to the loan office with a whopping price of 11.3 million bills. Considering this mech is one of the only mechs to survive the Dark Ages, I think it shows just how resilient and worthwhile of an investment it can be. The borderline first generation Omni-Mech has mounts that rival any of its predecessors. firepower that could make a clanner blush, armor to spare, jump juice for days, it throttles at a standard speed, has the agility of a feline, primed with a profile that is very manageable, equipped with quirks on torsos that can assist any setup. I could keep going on and on, but I think you're picking up what I'm putting down here. The build on offer today bridges the gap between pulse and ER lasers by utilizing the G variant to its fullest. Twin large pulse lasers throw down a 26 alpha all the way out to 900 meters, making it capable of chipping at an unsuspecting rail shark, while the 4 medium pulse lasers allow you to start hitting extra hard within 450 meters, making lights turn their tail and run just at the mere sight of you. This is a mech that is able, when in the right hands, to 2v1 any combination of mechs with very little effort, since its tankiness and firepower extends well beyond the capability of a normal 70-tonner. Not to mention the range this build offers up puts it in a bracket all of its own. The Phoenix Hawk is by far one of the most famous mechs for one reason or another. It's infamous for being the poster child of an entire generation's unseen saga, and ever since returning to the fold of mechs available, it has time and time again proven its worthiness of such reverence. Originally a staple and somewhat of a standard issue machine during the reign of the first Star League, Phoenix Hawks remained extremely common inside the greatest success estates and the following succession wars, helping keep the price down at 7.1 million bills. Standing at 11 meters tall, it's quite large for such an agile mech, but its recognizable profile can still hide when scattered among other mechs of its own size. It has a variant available for any flavor of pilot, and brings firepower to any skirmish on the flank with a surprising amount of speed on offer. Adding some jumpies to the formula only sweetens the deal and solidifies this mech as a legend among medium mech warriors. Trying to keep things simple and new player friendly today, today's build on offer brings a rainbow of light with a single binary, large and ER medium laser, combined with 2 light machine guns for a total alpha of more than 32, punishing those vigorous little light pilots on the flanks. With a mask available, this build excels at keeping up or even dictating the rotation, and will never get left behind. With a decent range to keep you safe and arm mounts to hit lights that try to get underneath you, there is no situation this mech feels out of place or at a disadvantage. The Hawk is a mech that holds a special place in any Grey Death Legion fan's memory, being a pivotal multi-role platform from the Golden Age, and the hero mech of the first released Battletech novel. It has officially achieved legendary status, making this mech have a reputation of sturdiness, reliability, and an absolute killer, one it does not live up to at all in MechWarrior Online. And it's kind of funny that it's reflected in the price, coming in at only 4.3 million bills. The Shadowhawk's shoulder god mount and the ability to sling lead over cover is by far its best characteristic it has on the battlefield. It does offer up ample armor to shake off the occasional damage from return fire, but in the end, it's more fragile than most pilots will lead you to believe. The lower arm mounts can be an issue when trying to utilize its various weapons, yet the ability to jump can negate it a little. There is no doubt about it. The Shadowhawk is a mech of compromise and passion over substance, with a belt-fed, bullet-slinging configuration on offer today. This build can be total Dakar ASMR, equipped with 3 rotary autocannon 2s and nothing else but ammo, a balanced skill tree, and a whole lot of bad intentions. It throws rounds down range at a satisfying rate, and is one of the very few viable rotary builds that can put actual numbers down in quick play. Mounting up in a receive position and letting rounds fly is about the only way to play this one. But in the end, making good decisions on your trades and capitalizing on situations at the perfect time can lead to an empty ammo bin and a large damage number. Created as a straight up middle finger to the Hellbringer, the Ebon Jag popped into existence just in time for some war crimes against House Kurita. Dubbed the Cauldron-born during Operation Dragon Slayer, it proved itself a worthy adversary, being the gravedigger of a few dozen Kellhounds, and continues to slaughter mercenaries to this day. The mech carries a price tag of a legendary killer as well, hitting the sale room at 13.4 million bills, keeping it firmly out of the reach of any cadets or cheap-ass pilots. With its Lego-like construction, it can offer up many variations of builds for only one mech, leaving those precious mech bays free for the Innisphere Hangar Queens. Its high mounts and incredible amount of open tonnage allows it to be built in almost all the flavors with very little drawbacks, showing the true strength of the Omni Mech. The kit on offer today uses triple Protocannon 8s, as well as triple plasma. With an alpha of 45, it hits hard for a 65 tonner, and at a surprisingly high rate of fire. Combined with the Jag's total H-pull it offers up, this mech truly is Cauldron-born and refuses to die at the worst times, just like the undead of its namesake. You're gonna want to play it patiently with this one. Keep it low and slow. Use your mounts to your advantage and don't be afraid to trade with larger mechs. This is a build that holds its own and will never let you down. Look, there's no lore to draw from here for the intro, so here's the rundown. The Bullshark was introduced in Harebrained Scheme's 2018 Battletech, and was later brought over to MechWarrior Online. But at this point, after seeing and playing this thing, we all know it doesn't matter where it came from, because it's here to stay and one hell of a death machine. Requiring the sale of exactly 3 kidneys, This mech annihilates your space wallet at 13.6 million bills, leaving you lining up at the mercenary office on Outreach, applying for the next available merc job. The advantages this apocryphal beast brings to the battlefield makes the price worth it, with extra armor compared to its counterparts, an obnoxious amount of hardpoints, as well as weapon mounts that can make a stalker jealous. The only downside to this mech is the amount you see on the battlefield, with a variant out there to suit everyone's taste and style. Trying to be a little bit different than the Dakar sharks we have all come to know and love? Today we are playing around with a one and done 6ER large laser shark that can alpha without your fusion engine glowing in the dark. These days it's becoming harder and harder to justify and recommend anything with a long duration. Taking the concept of minimal exposure to the extreme, this shark is happy to slap a postage stamp on it and send all 6 lasers from its top mounts downrange, only tickling the very edge of its heat threshold, leaving it still able to retreat. Also able to stagger fire with a simple 1-2 group setup, it can be very manageable in extended engagements, positioning this Bullshark as an excellent and forgiving training platform. There's no lore to draw from here for the intro, so here's the rundown. The Bullshark was introduced in Harebrained Schemes 2018 Battletech and was later brought over to MechWarrior Online. But at this point, after seeing and playing this thing, we all know it doesn't matter where it came from, because it's here to stay and one hell of a death machine. Requiring the sale of exactly 3 kidneys, this mech annihilates your space wallet at 13.6 million bills, leaving you lining up at the mercenary office on Outreach, applying for the next available merc job. The advantages this apocryphal beast brings to the battlefield makes the price worth it, with extra armor compared to its counterparts, an obnoxious amount of hardpoints, as well as weapon mounts that can make a stalker jealous. The only downside to this mech is the amount you see on the battlefield, with a variant out there to suit everyone's taste and style. Bringing the bang with 6 LBX-5s, able to sling an enormous amount of lead towards the enemy. This build is for any of the fat pilots out there looking to fulfill their power fantasy and secure huge numbers at the end of the round. Getting up high and staying at range is key with this beast. Utilizing the LBX's range to minimize return fire and playing to the Sharky's amazing profile will get you far and guarantee a satisfying score, win or lose. The Locust is more common than the color blue in the inner sphere. It's smaller than almost any other mech and has one of the worst reputations of survivability among mech warriors. It's known to drag race Gauss rifle rounds, and from time to time it's known to win. Having a price as small as its life expectancy, you can buy 3 of these things with change to spare, being only 1.5 million bills. Using its speed and profile to literally dodge enemy fire, the Locust makes up for the lack of armor with one of the fastest accelerations in the game. The speed of this mech can match a pilot's reactions 1-for-1, leaving no excuses on the table and rewarding anyone that shows up with even the slightest amount of piloting skill. I offer up today my own personal build and a mech that could be considered my workhorse and a comfort pit. I've led my team from this seat for many years in competitive play, and would like to throw it out there to give those struggling Flea 15 and Peanut Butter pilots a better option with what I consider something that has infinite potential. A single snubby with a sister AP Gauss rifle, both supported by a 50% cooldown quirk, offers up the same amount of DPS as any dual snub combination. It costs your team only half the tonnage while maintaining that much needed DPS potential. Keep an eye out for this one in the upcoming ISC tournament, or add it to your stable in preparation. Practice makes perfect for this juiced up little monster, but the Locust is a mech that proves what I've been telling my wife for years. It's not how much tonnage you have, it's how you use it. Thank you all for watching this, and I hope you got a little inspiration from this. I'd like to thank all our Patreon supporters. And if anyone watching hasn't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's the biggest way you can help small channels like us grow and let YouTube know we are not just another slop channel pushing crypto scams. The Short and Sweaty series will be returning with Season 2. Keep an eye out on your short feed, and as always, MechWarriors, keep it tight and remember, the cicada should have been called the earthworm, since it's so hard to tell its ass from its face.